Hi people, what's up? My name is Saco. They call me Compare with a sense of humor, Saco International. I promise you I will answer you. Why the name Saco? I started Saco years ago. I think I've explained to people several in some interviews that I've granted over 20 something years ago when I had this flair for comedy. I just love to make people happy, love to make people laugh. And when I began to think, what if this becomes a career? Even though I didn't see it as a career, but something just prompted me to get a name for myself. And I sat down that day. I was the only one in my mother's room that day, and I said, "What name do I want people to call me?" By the way, my first name is Sunday, and I said, "Do I want people to call me Sonny Baba? Do I want people to call me?" There were a lot of Babas then, so I wrote down all my names. I'm privileged to have four names or three names. My surname, my last name, and then I wrote down my first name Sunday. I wrote down Ayodele. I wrote down Chukamado, which is my Igbo name. My mother is from Delta State, so my father gave me that name. And then my son is Okundalai. And that was how I got the name Sako. Never seen it before. I've never seen the word Sako before until later I started bearing the name Sako. I began to see different Sakos. But that is a uniqueness for me because that's how I got the name Sako. And I began to do comedy. I began to get crash events, go to churches for their carol, tell them I'm in master of ceremony, they're having a concert, I would go and meet them. Yeah, I was still, before it became something I even used to fend for myself back in university. And when I finished school, there was no other thing I was going to do than doing comedy because if I could get money to feed and sort myself and even send money to my mom back in Lagos, I think I should concentrate on. And this is what I've been doing. In fact, this year, October 1st, we make it 20 years since I started comedy. Comedy, my first payment as a comedian was 2005, 1st of October in Kwara Hotels, where I did stand-up comedy and they paid me 5,000 naira. It was a big deal for me because my mom didn't even give me up to 5,000 naira as pocket money for the whole semester. So for me, I stuck to it and that was how I got the name Sako.
All right, sir. You're a Christian, we believe, and because we see your content.
Yeah.
So, how do you balance your faith and the demands of the industry?
As a Christian creative, it's a lot of there's a lot of demand on it. But when you know what you carry, when you understand your calling and understand the vision that God has given to you, you're sent to the world as an apostle. Um, as a creative, you don't have to start out I'm a Christian. Your lifestyle will show whether you're a Christian or not. When I started, I used to call myself a gospel comedian, but I had not gotten to a flight before, and I'm asking if the pilot is a gospel pilot. I've not got into an hospital to ask, is the doctor a gospel doctor? As long as he's been licensed to become a doctor, he is a doctor. And what makes it different is when they begin to have conversations and then begin to see the things that the person is doing with result. Don't get me wrong, every other person gets result, but you know your assignment. You know the style of comedy you should do. You should know that as a comedian, your job is to bring humor and make people that are down smile. I've received amazing feedback to say, you know what, your comedy made me relieve. I was going through a point of, challenge in my life, but coming into this place, I'm glad. Someone said I've never laughed like this before. Don't get me wrong. Also, we have people also in the secular world that do that. But when you know your assignment, the demand of it's not no comparison. You know what your aim is. You know what at the end. You know what the vision is. You know what the gift will be that you receive. So there's no people in the industry know the kind of comedy that I do. I've always stood my ground on the kind of comedy I do. Not that the other ones doesn't come easily. It comes, but when you realize that you get into it and then you are flogged back to saying that this is not what you're called to do, and you stick to what you're called to do, and the rest is history.
All right. Last question before we let you go, sir,
Mm.
because we know you don't have the time.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, what's your advice to gospel creatives and Christian creatives, Christian individuals who wants to stay relevant and also they don't get flogged like they do what they have been called to do. The demand, the society,
Yeah. Yeah.
what is selling is not good to the ear.
Hmm.
So, what's your advice to young ones who are aspiring to be creatives and still remain in faith?
So for young ones that want to be creative, especially in the gospel light, and you want to shine your light, first is what is the vision? What did you receive from God? And that's a place of consecration. What distinguishes you from every other person is the grace upon your life. You realize one of the things I found out that in spite of the steps that I was taking, gradually, some people still had envy. Because you get to a point where people begin to envy your gift. They don't just understand the joy and the peace of mind that you have. But even at that, there is more work to be done. What will make you relevant is the place of God, the secret place where you spend with time with God, and then self-development. The fact that you're spending time with God doesn't negate you not working. There's a lot of work that needs to be done, more work to be done. And when you open your mouth, when they say the kind of substance that you have, they say that's something. You have the grace. You have the grace of God upon your life. That's what distinguishes you. And then you deliver. Every time you have the opportunity to deliver, deliver. Don't get wild. Oh, this person did better than you. The person that have received the message in the audience have received it. Somebody in the house received it. That the day they begin to come out to say, "I watched your video," you will need to see the numbers of email that I receive every day. I still receive one this morning now. Every day. So keep at it. Don't be discouraged, and I promise you, your best is yet to come. God bless you. Hi, people. What's up? My name is Saco, the comedy compare. With a sense of humor, I want you to keep watching Gospel Cafe TV. Subscribe and share this video with someone. I promise you, there's a lot to learn. They forced me to do this video. I didn't want to really do it, but subscribe and follow.